Can you imagine? A girl who swore she would never marry a first son because she didn't want family responsibilities on her head, only to discover that the last born she chased for peace sake had no spine to carry anything at all. Today's story is a story of Adugo from the cool, hilly city of Enugu. Beautiful, well-dressed, voice like music, and opinions that arrived before greetings. Anytime marriage entered the gist, Adugo would raise her hand like a traffic warden and declare, "Me? I can never marry a first son. I beg. I don't have strength for extended family wahala." All those meetings, all those phone calls, all those, "Come and settle this, come and settle that, come and host that." I reject it in Jesus' name. I want peace in my home. Is last born or nothing, Jerry? Soft life for life. Her friends will sigh and adjust their gait. Adugo, Choma would say, marriage is not about the position in the family. It's about character, vision. What if the last born you marry has no discipline, eh? What if the first son you are avoiding is the one with sense and structure? But Adugo will flip her braids with a small, knowing smile. My sister, everybody should carry their own cross now. First son is not my own portion. And so, she built a rule and called it wisdom. The funny thing is, her rule didn't start from pride though. It started from a kitchen memory. She had grown up watching her mother Neka, the ever-smiling wife of a first son. Their house in Achara layout was always full. Uncles arriving without notice, cousins seeking school fees, aunties calling to complain that Odogu has not done this or that. Adugo remembered how her mother's laughter would dim when the phone rang after 9 p.m. She would whisper, "It's your father's people again, oh." If it wasn't for money, it was mediation. If it wasn't mediation, it was hosting. During Christmas, their kitchen became a canteen of obligations. Her father sat in the sitting room nodding wisely while her mother did all the cooking, the smiling and the fixing. Once, when Adugo was 17, she had walked in to find her mother resting on the kitchen stool, one hand pressing her lower back. "Mommy, are you okay?" she would ask. Her mother had smiled faintly. "I'm fine. I just wish your father wasn't the first son sometimes." Then she sighed and added, "My daughter, pray you marry peace, not position." That sentence entered Adugo's chest and refused to leave. From then, she interpreted every first soul she met through that memory. Tired eyes, endless obligations, and a wife who looked older than her years. So when adulthood arrived with its suitors and love songs, she already had her shield, not from arrogance, but from fear. A fear disguised as standards. By 27, Adugo was running a small but stylish boutique near Independence Layout, the kind of place where mannequins wore better makeup than most customers. Her assistants, Blessing and Nkiru, were gossip fountains with steady hands. Between measuring lace and pinning skirts, Adugo often repeated her gospel of peace. Last-born men are sweet, she said, threading a needle. They don't know stress. They don't know carry family load. They just love and rest. Blessing will giggle. "Auntie Ada, you want baby husband?" Adugo laughed. "Exactly. A man that will make me laugh, not one that will turn me to family treasurer." Behind her humor was conviction, strong like scent of her boutique's air freshener, rose and quiet rebellion. Suitors came because beauty attracts few steps. Some were truly good men. One was a maker, a pharmacist, soft-spoken and steady. They went out twice. On the third meeting, she asked the question that sat on her tongue like a coin at a toll gate. "Your family, what position are you in your family?" "I'm the first son," Emeka said without drama. She leaned back. I'm sorry, I don't think we are going in the same direction." "Why?" he asked gently. I don't want in-law load or unnecessary pressure. And is it me that carries load or my position?" She didn't answer. She'd already packed her dignity and left the conversation. Next came Ifeanyi. Kind eyes, good laugh, thoughtful texts. She liked him until she found out he was the eldest. She didn't even think twice. She blocked him and renamed his number. Closed case too. Then came Tosin, a tech guy from Lagos, handsome, humble, a dream of many women. Until she heard, I'm the first boy of 4 girls. That was the end. She didn't ask about dreams or discipline, only positions, as if family order could predict destiny. Her friends got tired. Adugo, you're rejecting diamonds because you fear scratches. Uju warned. Tomorrow you'll be the one looking for bloom. Oh. But Adugo had built her flag and carried it proudly. Then came Nonso. She met him one December evening at Opera Square when the Christmas lights were pretending to be stars. He was tall, fine, and spoke like a man who'd never raised his voice to win an argument. They both roasted corn from the same woman and laughed at the same stubborn kernels that refused to soften. He walked her to her car, asked if he could call, and he did promptly. By the second outing, Suya Achimi Avenue, malt cold enough to baptize, they were already finishing each other's jokes. Then came the question. Your family, she asked casually. What position are you in your family? And the last, he said, smiling. The baby of the house and my mother's handbag. Her eyes widened. Last, her heart danced a little azonto of relief. Inside her, a small voice whispered, hey, thank God though, no family meetings, no burdens, no elders dragging your peace. She went home and told Chioma, I found him. I found the one. God finally sent me rest. Chioma smiled worriedly. I hope it's not the rest that will make you restless. Adugo didn't care. For once, her rule had rewarded her. The wedding came like soft rain. Church was full, choir, bright, lace shining. They danced until shoes began to complain. What a lovely couple, people said. May God keep them. May their marriage be blissful. In the beginning, marriage was honey on warm bread. Mornings smelled like tea and new plants. Evenings were laughter and soft touches. Weekends, they visited Polo Park or stayed home solving the world's problem with jokes. Adugo would tell her friends, my people, marry last born and rest. You see peace. No first on duty, dragging my husband here up and down. I am the only queen in this kingdom. Her friend smiled politely. Time was already sharpening his pen. The first crack came. He didn't shout, it whispered. One Saturday, the fridge died or pretended to. Water pooled under it like a small rebellion. No, so Biko, come and check this thing. Adugo called. He strolled in, peeped like someone scanning gossip headlines and said, hey, yeah, I don't know what is wrong with this fridge. It's like he's sick. Sick? She repeated. What is this? Community service? He laughed. Call the repairman now. Isn't that what they do? Do you have his number? No. But you should be better with these things now. You will find it. He kissed her forehead. Ozurum, you're strong. You will do it well. Strong? The word sounded like compliment and assignment. She called. She haggled. She supervised. She even paid. When she told him the amount, he nodded and said, thank you. That's why you are my Ozuru. The second crack arrived with NEPA bills. The bill had jumped like a thief scaling a fence. She showed him. 2 days to salary, he said easily. Settle it now. You are an entrepreneur. You know me, I'm a salary earner. Settle it from your boutique account. I'll pay you when they pay me. Month 1, she waited for that money. Month 2, she waited again. Month 3, she stopped announcing the debt and just paid. Reimbursement became a myth told in her kitchen. The third crack came wearing responsibility. When the gas finished, She hold the cylinder like a wrestler. When rent came due, Nonso said, let's ask my elder brother to assist small. He's close to the landlord. She stared at him. Your elder brother? For our rent? He likes to help pay my rent. He has always been the one carrying me. She echoed, but he didn't hear the disbelief in her tone. That night she lay awake, watching the Cellophane spin stories. She remembered all the men she had rejected because of crowns. Now, she had peace. Peace with no pillar. It didn't become thunder immediately. It came like drizzle, pretending to be shy. When water stopped running, she had to fetch water. When the car had issues, she drove to the mechanic alone, sat on a plastic chair with tired legs and learned new words, ball joints, bushings, stabilizer links. When she texted the estimate, he replied, these mechanics are thieves, so don't pay yet, I'll call my cousin. He would forget. 3 days later, he would say, Ozulum, please, did you handle that mechanic? You do these things better than me. Better, strong, capable, all those sweet words that turned into unpaid labor. Her friends began to notice the shadows under her eye. Adubu, are you sleeping well at all? Would you ask one afternoon? Sleep? She smiled faintly. These days, sleep is a rumor. Discipline, she soon learned, was another mirror that refused to flatter. Nonso didn't meet deadlines. He met excuses. He was not wicked. He was over-pampered. He'd been cushioned all his life and comfort had become his language. When life asked her for backbone, he brought charm. Also, can you drop the rent this week? Let's speak to my sister. She understands these things. Which things? Money things, she repeated slowly. You mean our own rent? Now, she has always been the one supporting me. The sentence stung quietly. Fights came not as thunder but as tired sighs. One night, generator repair bills joined hands on the dining table. No, so we need to talk, she said. I'm listening in Ozuru. I am carrying everything. No, now. You're just better at handling these things. Stop talking like that. She swallowed hard. Handling what? Handling is not carrying. Okay. I'll do better, he promised. When exactly? Very, very soon. He sounded like later, wearing perfume. He looked at her. I am who I am. You knew me now. She shook her head. No, I assumed I knew you. In-laws, the very one she ran from, arrived through other doors. His eldest brother called. Nonso said your boutique is doing very well. Please, can you help me with a very small loan? We'll pay back. He handed her the phone like a good messenger. Then his eldest sister came visiting. Our last baby is blessed. Oh, God gave you money sense. Help us to talk to the landlord. Nonso is not good with these things. Not good with which things? The phrase echoed through her mind like laughter in a cold hall. She smiled. She helped, but she burned quietly. Some nights she sat on the kitchen floor back against the cabinet, tiles kissing her bare skin. She whispered to the silence, is this the peace I wanted? Peace that looks calm but feels heavy. The quiet answered with his usual wisdom by refusing to lie. One Sunday after church, they visited friends, Kene and Amaka, a couple that handled life like two hands carrying the same tree. When the cooler refused to open, Amaka called, Kene, please come and help me. Before the word finished, he was there, twisting the stubborn cover. Later, when the generator coughed, Kene stood up, tightened the screw, wiped his hands and returned to his chair. No drama, no announcement. On the drive home, Adugo stared out the window. You are quiet, Nonso said. I like their house, she replied. It is balanced. He didn't understand. Many pampered men don't hear what isn't praise. When the landlord came with polite frown, Adugo's last thread snapped quietly. My people, he said, I've been waiting to hear from you people since your rent expired. Adugo looked at Nonso. Sir, you know my brother will speak with you, Nonso said cheerfully. The landlord blinked. Your brother? Is he also a tenant here? I have been waiting to hear from you. It's been 6 months now. Adugo excused herself, fetched the envelope she had prepared long ago, and placed it on the table. Thank you, madam, the landlord said. When he left, she turned. No, so if I wasn't here, what would you have done? He shrugged. I have always had people. Her chest made a small sound, not a break, but a bruise. Weeks later, she tried again with notebooks and hope. No, so come, let's plan, she said. Let's make budget, savings, tax. I'll handle ABC. You handle DEF. Good, he said. The first week, he tried. The second, he forgot. By the third, the notebook was a coaster under a sweating cup. Why is this hard? She asked one evening. Because you are better, he said warmly, and I like your kind of better. That night, she realized she hadn't married peace. She had married a vacancy, a leadership seat, expecting her to sit in it, then clap for the empty chair beside her. One night after another small storm, she went to the balcony. The city lights blinked like unanswered messages. She called Choma. Talk to me, her friend said. I'm afraid. I made a god of no first son, Adugo whispered. I worship positions and ignored character. I thought I was choosing soft. I didn't know I was entering hard. There was silence, then Choma's voice, calm as always, said, Now you know. Adugo nodded. I fixed on the sleeping city. One Sunday evening, Adugo sat with her younger cousin Elena, who had come for weekend after finishing NYSC. They sat outside peeling oranges, slowly, lazily, their laughter weaving with the night insects. Nena was full of stories, excitement, and those fresh dreams that usually come before reality enters with its bag of lessons. Auntie Ada, she began, shyly, please, don't be angry. But I remember you used to say one thing back then in your boutique. Adugo smiled, eyes still on the orange she was cutting. Which of the many things? The one about not marrying a first son, Nena said, half laughing, half nervous. I remember how you used to warn us, run from first sons, so if you love peace. Adugo laughed lightly. That one. Yes, now. So, there's this guy, his name is Kenny. He's good, auntie. Mature, God-fearing, focused, and he's really serious about me. But she started biting her lower lip. He's the first son. That's my only fear. I don't want wahala. Should I tell him no? Adugo stopped mid-peel. The orange juice ran down her fingers like a slow realization. Her knife trembled slightly. That question, the exact same reasoning, felt like an echo from her own past. She stared at Nena's bright, expectant eyes. Her voice came quietly, like a confession wrapped in wisdom. My dear, don't use positions to choose, use character. Look at his discipline, his vision, his strength. A first son without wisdom is burden. A last son without discipline is also a burden. Marriage is not about positions. It's about character, maturity. Nena frowned slightly. Still too young to fully grasp. But auntie, aren't last born supposed to be softer, more peaceful? Adugo smiled sadly. Peace without responsibility is laziness. What you call soft may one day turn hard. Marry a man who can stand when storm comes, not just one who laughs when the sun is out. Nena nodded slowly, trying to understand. She smiled and changed the topic, but Adugo knew youth only learns when life explains. As they finished peeling, Adugo threw the orange peels into a small bowl and watched them glisten under the bulb. The harvest of my words, she thought. This is what it feels like when the things you once preached grow old enough to look you in the eye. Years passed. Home became a dictionary of small lessons. Bills, repairs, water issues, children's endless school demands. Every single problem found her first. Nonso still smiled like the sun had not moved. Ozurum, you know you're better at this, he would say, gently rubbing her shoulder. Better, stronger, smarter. The compliments that were really assignments wearing the film. One evening, she came back home from the boutique tired beyond polite words. The generator had started having issues and was coughing his last breath. The plumber had failed to show up and her body ached. Her bank balance looked like a joke and still, also was asking what to eat for dinner. She dropped her bag and said quietly, "Nonso, please, I'm tired." He looked up from the TV. Yeah, sorry, Ozurum. What will we eat? That was the moment something inside her snapped, not from anger, but from exhaustion. "Nonso," she said, voice shaking slightly. "You're not my fourth child. You're my husband. Be a husband." He looked genuinely wounded. "Ozurum, why are you talking like this? Eh? Don't I love you?" She shook her head. "Love is not only sweet words. Love is carrying weight. Love is responsibility. Love is leadership." He opened his mouth, then closed it again like a student handed a test he never studied for. One late evening, after putting the children to bed, she turned to us. "Do you know why I married you?" she asked suddenly. He grinned, half playful. "Because I'm a fine boy?" She almost smiled. "No, I married you because you were the last born. And because I thought last born means peace. Because I wanted soft life." He laughed again, thinking she was joking. "And did I not give you peace?" She leaned forward, eyes bright, voice. "No, so peace without strength is emptiness. Peace that leaves me to carry everything is not peace. It is loneliness." He frowned. "So you regret marrying me?" She took a deep breath. "I regret marrying about position, not you. I regret worshipping the idea of peace more than the reality of partnership." He looked confused, maybe even a little ashamed, but she didn't press further. Some truths need silence to ferment. From that night, something changed in Adugo. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady. She stopped waiting for Nonso to become what he had never been trained to do. She stopped expecting him to carry loads he'd never been taught to lift. Instead, she turned her energy inward to her thoughts, to her words, and to her children. She realized that healing sometimes means teaching a new generation what broke you. She began small, during homework time or breakfast chatter. "Don't ever say you marry a first son or last son," she would tell them gently. "Say you marry a good person. Don't choose by position. Choose by character, by discipline. Don't build rules from fear. Build standards from wisdom." The children will roll their eyes, used to their mother's sudden lessons, but she always continued. At the boutique, her friends noticed the change. One hot afternoon, Udu leaned on the counter sipping more. "Adugo, you don't boast about these landlord marriages again. Oh. What happened?" Adugo smiled, folding a dress casual. "My sister, experience happened though. I now know better. Last born or first born, middle born, it doesn't matter. What matters is, does he have sense? Does he have a vision? Can he carry home?" Blessing, her apprentice, laughed. "Auntie, you sound like a pastor." "My sister, experience is ministry." Oh, Adugo said, chuckling. "Life has ordained me." They laughed together, but beneath the laughter was a quiet awe. They could see her peace now, the heavy, mature kind that comes from understanding, not avoidance. She never divorced Nonso. She didn't even hate him. He was still kind, still affectionate in his own way. He could make the children laugh until their stomachs hurt. He still called her room with that gentle warmth, embraced and made moves out of fear. That girl was gone now, replaced by a woman who understood that some crowns are heavy, but some peace is heavier. The Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. So, let's see, what shall we say? Adugo was not evil. She was not foolish. She was just shallow, mistaking fear for wisdom, mistaking softness for safety. She thought she was building peace. She was really building pressure. She thought she was escaping family responsibilities. She was only changing its uniform. Life taught her slowly, kindly, and thoroughly. So here's the truth she teaches now. If you plant shallow standards, you harvest shallow peace. If you chase comfort to dodge responsibility, you will end up carrying the very load you feared. Marriage is not by position, so marriage is weight sharing, marriage is character. And when she says it, her voice carries the quiet authority of someone who has tested her own summer. Adugo's story reminds us what we fear most in others can sometimes be hiding inside the choices we make. So before you say, I can never, pause and think. Life is listening, and life has a way of bringing your words back to your doorstep. If this story spoke to you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Somebody out there may be building their future on stereotypes instead of sense. Tell them marriage is not by position. It's responsibility. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next story. Until then, choose wisely, speak softly, and may your peace never come empty. See you in the next one. Bye.